Right then, welcome to episode 11 of Tunnelz. In this episode, we're exploring the Barbican tunnels. The Barbican estate is this large housing estate in the city of London. And by city of London, I don't mean the London as a city, I mean the bit of London called the city of London, the posh part. Because even though this is a brutalist housing estate, which in everywhere else in London would be grotty, because this is the city of London, this is a rich person's estate, which really shows you such a contrast in these estates depending on their location, because this estate is exclusively for the most wealthy people of London. Now this estate is very large, and underneath it there is a huge tunnel network, miles upon miles of tunnels. So we go down to the car park. There's loads of car parks all over this estate. It's a very large place. It takes ages to look around just on the surface, but once you get into the tunnel system, it is so big. Once we got into tunnels, we were exploring for over 3 hours and we did not even see half of it. I don't even think we saw a quarter of it. That shows you how crazily big these tunnels are. Miles upon miles of utility tunnels connecting up all the different parts of the estate. So we explore the tunnels, and after going through some very cramped areas and some bits we had to crawl on hands and knees, we got along to this bit, one of the main parts of the tunnel system, right in the central section. And along we go to a lift. I was very interested to see where this lift went. Sadly though, this lift was locked off and we didn't want to leave these tunnels yet. This lift probably goes up to the theatre building in the middle, I'm guessing. I'm not quite sure where this lift goes. It's a shame, I wanted to explore it. But we did not want to leave the tunnels because it's the tunnels that we came for. So let's continue to explore the tunnels. And along we go to this bit where there's lots of equipment. Loads of pumps, filtration equipment, air ducts, all kinds of stuff.
We'll get into the vent shafts. Yeah, now it's massive.
And along we go to these stairs heading downwards into the main central core of the tunnels, where the boilers are. This is the most central part. So, are there any workers about to catch us? Well, it's 3 AM and there's nobody about. And along into the maintenance office. This is where the maintenance workers are based. Very risky being in here, but no one about, so let's take a look around.
Control panel centre for the fucking whole of thingy. Touch the floors as well, level 3, 1, mezzanine. CCTV sets. Fucking camera there, isn't it?
So we now leave the maintenance office and go back to the main boiler section of the tunnels.
Them tunnels are miles.
There are tunnels going off in all directions. We don't even know which way we should go first. There is so much to see in this area. So we look through these doors where there's yet more equipment and more tunnels. These tunnels are never ending. They are so big.
It's a big site. Oh, Barbican's got 24 skills. They don't know where it is.
In some parts, there's even some 1960s control equipment. This is abandoned sadly, but it's still nice to see if we've got some old equipment left here.
Wonder where that goes.
So then we now got this staircase and we go along to where there's some very large pumps.
It's really hot in there.
So we now head in a different direction. After squeezing through many tight spaces, we go along to this tunnel.
Okay, go right down to the end.
Another level there.
What? Up that scaffold. Onto the ladder.
And along we go to this part where we have to climb up the scaffolding to get to the next part of the tunnels.
Okay.
Along to a bit where they've dumped some street lights in the utility tunnels. That's a strange place to dump stuff. Pigeon spikes. Which way now?
It's weird how they fence the pumps off and leave everything else open. I've not explored this part of the system.
And the tunnels literally go on for miles. They go on so far.
You'll go around there, go right.
And at this part, we found a security camera. There's not many security cameras around these tunnels, but every now and then, very infrequently, there's the occasional camera so they can check up who's in the tunnel. As this is such a high profile estate, we pretty much knew security was onto us as soon as we stepped in front of that camera. But it's a very large tunnel system, many miles of tunnels here, and very few cameras. So every time we pass the camera, they then know our location at that point. But we could have taken any direction. They don't know which way we've headed, so it's unlikely we'll bump into them. But security is onto us and they have now entered the tunnels and they are trying to catch us. But will we get caught or will we get away? Well, let's keep exploring these tunnels because we don't want to leave yet because there's still so much more to see down here. So we now go along to this part where the tunnels are so low I can't even stand up. On quite a lot of this tunnel system I'm actually having to crawl through the tunnels. Just watching a video doesn't do it justice because some parts are so cramped and you're really having to squeeze through little parts of it.
And this is where it begins. But when you go on this platform, look down. There's another level. We need to go down to that level. See what I mean? It's fucking tunnels everywhere.
And now we go along to this section. Notice on this part there's this curve to the tunnel. I'm pretty certain this is going round that semicircle building right in the middle of the Barbican estate. This curve just reminds me of that building. In a previous video, I put a link in the description to it, I actually got on the roof of this semicircle building. Apparently I heard that security went crazy when they found out about my video, so I wonder what they'll think now when they find out I've been in all their tunnels. So we now go down to the lower level of this part and look around this semicircle building on the lower level. This way I'm guessing?
Yeah.
And we go past more cameras. And we now go into some more tight squeezes where we have to duck under loads of cables.
That makes me laugh. Oh, luckily they can cut that. Oh, really fast. I don't know where this one goes.
And we now pass more cameras. Oh dear, we've been seen on camera quite a few times now. I wonder if security will manage to work out which way we're going and manage to catch us. These tunnels have gone such a long way. At this point we've been in here about 3 hours. The thing is, they don't know where we've gone though, that's the thing. I've seen us on camera but I don't know whereabouts in the system we are.
It's an exit.
And then we heard the sound of a door slam. It was not close, but not that distant either. Security had finally caught up with us. We could hear someone else was in the tunnel, and they sounded like they were on a mission to catch someone. Right, we now need to leave these tunnels before we get caught, because security's literally round the corner from us. We then realised there's now another camera looking directly at us, but luckily there's plenty of ways out, because every single building here has a way into the tunnels. So we now go out of a fire exit and into one of the tower blocks, where we then go out to the street and then go and exit a Barbican estate.
This lift is going down. Doors closing.
Yeah, it's fucking security.
Is it?
He's got a finger on his arm. Yeah, look, he's got his phone out now.
What is this?
That's security.
Fuck.
He had a badge around his arm.
Floor 0.
I don't know, but he came out of a building.
Yeah.
Doors opening.
Well, that was a good mission in the Barbican estate. We now decide to leave this area since security's clearly onto us. So let's now go to a different location and try another tunnel system. Along we go to Dover in Kent. And there are a lot of different tunnels in Dover. Loads and loads of different bunkers. Mainly a lot of different chalk bunkers. I've done separate videos of these chalk bunkers, although there's also a really spectacular pristine Cold War bunker as well. Make sure you check out that video. But as for now, let's go and find a utility tunnel in Dover. This utility tunnel goes from Dover docks right into the cliffs. It is a mile long. There's actually signs on the wall saying how long it is. It's 1,600 metres. That's a mile. The whole thing is perfectly straight. There's no bend to the tunnel at all. It's one long straight tunnel. It slopes upwards, as I'm guessing the other end of the tunnel comes out somewhere at the top of the cliffs. So let's go for a mile walk down the tunnel and see where it goes.
I feel like this place should go to London Dover. It's too big.
It does feel like London City Tunnel, really.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's not something to get Dover. It's a hard place.
It's a very strange noise. We're going upwards gradually. Oh yes, that's a good shadow. Looks like there's some sort of ghost going down the tunnel.
Yeah, there is.
Lovely ties.
You need them.
Wow, that's a lot. Look at all of those.
Not going to eat them, make a sandwich.
Well, maybe.
You eat them.
We've now reached the other end of the tunnel. We're not quite sure where this comes out, as there's a ladder going upwards. At the top of the ladder, the manhole covered too much metal in it to get GPS. So I actually have no idea where I am at the minute. Sadly, we can't get out, so we had to go back the way we came. It's quieter when you get to the end.
It's hot.
The water sound stops when you get to the
Maybe not
end.
the sea anymore. I reckon that manhole needs to be wider. I think some people look at this, go down, just get a picture and get out and go, oh fuck that, I'm walking down the end of that. Too far.
So then, that's episode 11 of Tunnels complete. In episode 12, I'm going to be exploring a bunker on an RAF base. Yay!